European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen stands firm in the face of Russian influence as she champions the EU's commitment to a stable, democratic Western Balkans. Today we explore the EU's battle against misinformation, the stakes for the Balkans, and the progress toward bringing this region closer to the European Union. European democracies are under siege, not just by traditional military threats, but by the ever-growing menace of misinformation. Leading the charge to counteract these attacks, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has embarked on a tour through the Western Balkans, rallying support, fostering unity, and strengthening bonds with countries that aspire to join the European Union. Von der Leyen's journey through the Balkans isn't just ceremonial. In places like Kosovo and Serbia where tensions are high, the EU's role is pivotal in countering Russian propaganda and stabilizing these young democracies. This journey reflects a message of resilience, of standing up for the truth, and of building a future together. So let's take a closer look at her recent visit and what it means for the region's future. During her stop in Kosovo, von der Leyen didn't mince words about the growing threat posed by Russia's hybrid attacks on democratic societies. Unlike conventional warfare, hybrid warfare doesn't rely on troops and tanks. Instead, it uses misinformation, cyber attacks, and manipulation of public opinion to destabilize societies from within. According to von der Leyen, the European Union is working daily to combat misinformation that sows distrust and divides communities. As she emphasized in Pristina, it is possible for us to stand up with the truth, with transparency, and with very clear messaging. This message is more than rhetoric. It's a commitment to protecting not only EU members but also the democracies on its borders, particularly those of the Western Balkans, which Russia aims to keep in its orbit through misinformation and destabilizing narratives. Von der Leyen's tour is also about Europe's promise to the Western Balkans, a commitment to eventual EU membership that has lingered for years without substantial progress. After nearly a decade of slow negotiations, the EU recently approved a massive €6 billion economic growth plan for the Balkans. This plan is meant to double the economies of the region, help create jobs, and bring living standards closer to EU norms. But the funding is contingent upon each country enacting reforms to align with EU rules on everything from governance and legal frameworks to trade practices and anti-corruption measures. This trip has taken on added importance after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, which reignited EU efforts to integrate these strategically located countries. Now, as Russia increases its influence campaign, the EU is aiming to provide a stable, prosperous path for the Balkans. Von der Leyen assured these nations enlargement remains at the top of our agenda, calling on each government to commit to the path of democracy and reform in pursuit of the common European goal. One of the stops with the most complex history is Kosovo, a nation that declared independence from Serbia in 2008, an act that Belgrade has yet to recognize. Despite years of international mediation, Kosovo and Serbia remain locked in a tense relationship. Kosovo's independence followed a violent conflict that ended in 1999 after NATO's intervention. But the scars from that time linger. Over 13,000 people, predominantly ethnic Albanians, lost their lives, and the memories of the conflict continue to shape the region's politics. Kosovo remains heavily reliant on EU support for maintaining peace and stability, but challenges persist. Serbia maintains strong ties with Russia and has refused to join sanctions against Moscow, unlike its Balkan neighbors who lean toward the EU. In an era of geopolitical tension, Serbia's close relationship with Russia makes it a focal point in the EU's efforts to counter Moscow's influence in the region. Von der Leyen's visit highlighted the EU's commitment to dialogue and peaceful resolution, but also its determination to protect Kosovo's democracy from external influence. Montenegro is seen as the closest Balkan nation to achieving EU membership. Its government is a blend of pro-European and pro-Russian factions, reflecting the complex loyalties that persist throughout the region. In her meeting with Montenegro's leaders, von der Leyen applauded the country's progress toward EU accession. She said, "We are now closing one chapter after another, underscoring the EU's commitment to help Montenegro advance in the membership process." But even Montenegro faces significant challenges. The divisions within its government mirror those in the wider region, where Russia's influence competes with the EU's vision of democracy and stability. Von der Leyen emphasized that unity within Montenegro's political leadership is essential to maintaining momentum on its EU path. The tools are now in place, she stated, referring to policies and initiatives aimed at integrating Montenegro into the EU. Let's make this a reality, she urged, a message meant for Montenegro but also for the entire Western Balkans. Russia's influence in the Balkans extends beyond military alliances. It targets public opinion, leveraging historical and cultural connections to spread misinformation. By portraying itself as an ally to certain Balkan countries, Russia attempts to destabilize EU integration efforts. This influence is especially strong in countries like Serbia, where many citizens view Moscow as a historic friend and protector. But as von der Leyen emphasized, the EU is committed to countering these narratives by promoting truth and transparency. In her speeches, she stressed that the EU's influence in the region isn't about control or coercion, it's about building partnerships that empower each country to achieve its democratic aspirations. For the EU, integrating the Western Balkans isn't just about expanding its borders, it's about creating a united front against external forces that threaten stability in Europe. The EU's €6 billion growth plan unveiled last year is more than a financial aid package. It's a roadmap to economic stability and democratic reform. By offering funding, the EU aims to bring Western Balkan economies up to par with EU standards. For countries like Albania, Bosnia, and North Macedonia, this funding represents an opportunity to address critical economic challenges and implement long-awaited reforms. Yet the EU's financial assistance comes with strings attached. It's conditional on meaningful reforms. Each country must improve its governance, combat corruption, and promote transparency to qualify for the full benefits. These reforms aren't easy, but they're essential to achieving the stability and prosperity the EU envisions for the region. Von der Leyen's visit was a reminder that while the path to EU membership may be long, the rewards, economic growth, political stability, and a closer relationship with Europe are well worth the effort. President Ursula von der Leyen's visit to the Western Balkans is a testament to the EU's unwavering commitment to strengthening democracy and stability on its eastern borders. In places like Kosovo and Montenegro, her message of resilience and unity resonates deeply. As she underscored, the battle against misinformation is only one front in a much larger struggle for the region's future. With the promise of EU membership on the horizon, the Western Balkans stand at a crossroads, and the path they choose will shape the future of Europe itself. Thank you for watching, and if you want to stay informed on global politics and the EU's role in shaping a safer world, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your thoughts below. Can the Western Balkans achieve the reforms needed to join the EU? And what will this mean for Europe's future?